There's just like so much energy in a startup, and there's like so much adrenaline. It is quite like addictive.
Chaos at Revolut is probably our day-to-day business, you know?
It is part of the fun. It's part of, what makes startups.
I think a little bit of chaos is good. If there was no chaos, I think you'd have to ask whether you're pushing hard enough towards your mission or whether it's too bureaucratic, where things are not happening.
We're joined today by Roy from Wiz, Antoine from Revolut, and Akshay from Notion to go behind the scenes of the chaos of building a startup.
I think you can say chaos it's about dealing with a vast amount of problems. At Revolut, it's amplified by the number of countries, the number of products, that you could qualify that as a chaos. If you manage to really deal with chaos, it can become a real superpower. I think for some companies, chaos can be hindering you, especially in the world of banking. At Revolut, we're taking the complete other way. You say, you know what? It's super hard. Everyone says you're never going to make it. Well, somehow we managed to do it.
I sometimes feel like at Wiz, it's like I bring a lot of really good people. I tell them, do whatever you want. And then, like, at the end of the day, suddenly there's like some invisible hand making everything like happen. It's kind of like organized chaos.
One of the beautiful things as a young company is that each person owns multiple jobs. And as you scale the company and your business, you end up with like more specialized roles. The gravity is towards processes. But I think if you keep letting that happen, you could end up becoming very bureaucratic, where like just a very simple thing needs to go through like 10 different people.
Wiz has been on this most incredible growth journey. So how did it all get started, Roy?
We've been working with each other for like almost 20 years, right? The level of trust between the founders is very, very, very high. So the first few hires were all people that I knew, either from Microsoft or from like other areas that I've been working with for like a very long period of time. That I think was one of the main pillars that allowed us to be very quick and successful as we started, because everyone knew everyone. Everyone knows what everyone's good at or what everyone's not good at.
Revolut's culture is so unique. So Antoine, tell us, what impact did its culture have on the scaling journey?
It's probably the most fascinating part at Revolut. I don't think I've ever met an organization with such a level of ambition. I know a lot of people are talking about the Revolut success. We are all not happy with what we are delivering. The idea of never settle, it's very much anchored. We're so far from what we want to deliver. We don't really believe in strategy. It's all about execution. Because ultimately, you can build a big strategy plan, a 10-step strategy plan, but if after step 1, you realize this is not what we want, then you learn from it. Well, start with step 1, and then we'll figure out step 2 later. I think this obsession for execution and the fact that everyone is super hands-on is quite a differentiator.
So Akshay, is Notion a jazz band or a marching band?
So one of the concepts we have in the product org is this notion of a jazz band, and this idea where each of us are improvising a bit to sort of build something together. Your job is not just your job. Like, it's a little bit thinking a little bit about like what's happening around you. Every time we're actually trying to come up with like a new feature, it's not just the PM or the designer or the engineer. It's actually usually like a unit, like a 4 or 5 people that come together and we improvise a bunch. The jazz band fluidity, may not be the right setup for sales. Sales is something where you want to be a little bit more like a marching band, where you want to have a certain way we're actually going out and talking to customers and certain metrics we're tracking and certain stages that the deal is progressing. And so there's this interesting concept of jazz band versus marching band, and which band are you using for the problem you're solving inside the company.
It's been great to hear from the leaders at Notion, Revolut, and Wiz on what scaling through chaos has meant for them.